Testing, yep.
All right, so here's the secret button. Go ahead and push that.
Oh yeah, that just bring it up.
But keep pushing it. And when you want to stop, push it down.
Yeah.
There you go.
You told me that before. Yeah.
It's a little broken, but you got it.
It's okay.
You got the hang of it.
Are we ready to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. We want to get started. My name's Michael Levy. I'm the president of the Board of Trustees, for those of you who don't know me. We may try a little something different for announcements as we go along, if the rabbi and Cantor don't mind. Maybe some Q&A and see if anybody's been listening on the announcements for the past few weeks. To start off, though, the next senior program is this coming Monday at noon. It's a day at the beach karaoke. There will be burgers, fries, and cool treats for the hot weather. So go to the website or calendar if you want to participate and join. RSVP for next Trivia Tuesday that takes place on July 25th, which is coming Tuesday. Again, register on our website. You can sign up for the fall adult education classes on our website. Pamela Henderson is offering 3 sessions of classes about Judaism, Hebrew, and Torah through December. Classes take place on Tuesdays at 6 and 7 p.m. Number 1 question in Q&A. What is the rabbi always looking for during the announcements? Excellent. Please, the rabbi's always looking for food gift cards or non-perishable items which you can bring to him.
Chocolate.
I think the rabbi's very proud of you, and so am I. So please, he's always looking for those gift cards. So if you can bring them into him, he will really appreciate it. If you're interested in joining a young adult support group after experiencing loss in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, please speak to the cantor. The next Q&A, what is the cantor looking for? I'll give you a hint. It's part of the Shabbatones. Horn players. So if you know of anybody or you're interested in joining the Shabbatones, they are looking for wind, horn, or string musicians. Cantor, I just have a question. As I walk between New York, and MGM Grand, I see a bunch of horn and wind players on the crosswalk. Can I ask them to join? There you go. So that's an option. CNT Sisterhood will be preparing oven-ready challah for Shabbat on Thursday, August 24th at 6. To sign up for this Flower Power event, go to our calendar. Vendors are needed for Sisterhood's Hanukkah and Holiday Bazaar on November 5th. If you'd like to display or sell your crafts or giftware, please email the Sisterhood. And finally, the last Q&A question, how early is the Sisterhood's Mark L. Fine gift shop open before services? Excellent. See, Rabbi? Our congregation is getting good. It's open 45 minutes or by appointment. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. All right, we have one more question. The president's last name is spelled L-E-V-Y. How many of you think it's Levy? How many of you think it's Levy? And the answer is?
When the president raised his hand, when the president raised his hand for Levy, when the president raised his hand for Levy, that probably would have given everybody an idea.
All right, how many of you think it's Levy? No, he just told you. He's not sure. He's sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, no, he's sure. Yeah, that's right. All right, now that we got that down. Maybe they'll learn how to spell Axelrod. That is a high bar.
I know.
I know.
I sent you that really funny spelling of some animal that looked just like Axelrod, the San Diego
I don't
Zoo.
know.
And I was like, look, a new spelling.
I just got the Temple Minutes, and they spelled my name wrong again.
That's really funny.
I know. It's a true story.
Did you know that I didn't know how it was spelled until I applied for this job?
That's true.
When I wrote to my mom about it, I was spelling it with an X. And she's like, you're spelling it wrong.
Those are imposters, those AXers. I'm an AK. Uh-oh. All right, what do we have to talk about? A few extra things. We got all the immediate announcements, but we need to look a little bit in the distance in August to get a little bit of excitement. It is what? A Shabbat. It's a Shabbat. New. It is not Beatles Shabbat, but Greatest Hit Shabbat. What day is it going to be? They don't know. When is it?
August. Oh my gosh.
You don't even know.
No.
Oh, the candor doesn't
Wait,
know.
It said on here, didn't it? It's the third Friday in August.
Third Friday in August. We'll
Do you
keep
know?
you.
18th. Okay, that's a good day. That's a good day.
18th
Yeah.
of August.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. And like right now, it's like very chill in here, very July. This is like our very typical July service, right? Everybody's sweating, and we're getting ready. We're gearing up for the high holidays. And to prepare us to get into that high holiday season, we try to shake you up spiritually in different ways. So we have our Greatest Hits Shabbat. We have our Serenity Shabbat that like right before. We have like different ways that we can get in the vibe of the high holidays.
That's right. And I think we're going to even give them ice cream a few times. So
We better.
that'll
Because it's
do it.
really hot. It's
We'll give them a
105
Sunday
degrees.
Sabbath. It's what?
It's 105 degrees.
That's inside here.
Inside and outside, yeah.
That's right. We're going to have to go outside to cool off at this point.
We hope that you're staying hydrated.
Oh, show off. And that's just for one service, folks. That's it. All right, enough of our comedy routine. Eddie, are you ready? We actually have to usher in Shabbat, so
Okay,
here we go.
so we're going to sing to God a new song because we are kicking off the rest, the part of the week where we can say, all right, that was a week, and here comes a new one. So we say, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Let's sing unto God a new song, page 131. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai shir chadash. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru, shiru Ladonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru, shiru Ladonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. And now that we have warmed up our voices, we prepare for our Shabbat by lighting the candles. We bring in that beautiful light of Shabbat. We had a very special week here at CNT. We welcomed many new members to our tribe. So we want to call up Mariana, Paula, Lysandra, and Crystal for lighting our Shabbat candles tonight in honor of their choice to become Jews. page 120, 121. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue on page 124. We read together at the bottom, may the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Turn to page 138 for L'Chadodi. And as a gentle reminder, near the end of the song, we all stand and turn and face the door, welcoming the Shabbat bride.
And I think that sometimes this idea of a Shabbat bride is, why is there a bride for Shabbat? The idea is that when we watch a bride or something similar to that, we are given that sense of awe, that sense of majesty. So if a bride is not a good symbol, is not a good picture of what is majestic, that you see as majestic, you can pick another one. But at that point on verse 9, we will rise to greet the majesty that is Shabbat. Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat. nekabela, shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el hamiyochad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litilah, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela, Shabbat Techila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nikabela we rise Vishalom Ateret Bala Gam Besimcha Uvitzola Likrat kala Penei Shabbat Nikabela
We continue 146 as we remain standing for the Baruch Hu.
Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Yai Lai Lai Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Lai
149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? For this is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai Hamari Varavim.
Shu taught Torah to those whose names I bear. Teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me as well? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
I'd like to invite up any of our B'nai Mitzvah class or anyone that's close-ish to B'nai Mitzvah in like the 5th, 6th, 7th grade. Come on up for Shema. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad,
O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. We continue with Ve'ahavta on page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך וברתם בם בשיטתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים אלוהיהם אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתי אתם מארץ מצרים להיות להם באלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיהם אדוני אלוהיהם אמת.
Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught, but before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get there from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל הכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם. Page 158, we celebrate the miracle of the splitting of the sea. מי כמוך באלים אדוני Kodesh Nora Tehilot O Sefele Mi Chamocha Bailim Adonai Mi Kamocha Nedar Bakodesh Nora Tehilot O Sefele ונאמר כי פד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We thank God for sheltering us tonight as we lie our heads down to sleep. The Hashkivenu prayer, a prayer that reminds us that we have friendship, we have shelter from life's storms. We just have to put our faith in that. Hashkivenu
Sukkot shlomecha ufros aleinu. Sukkot shlomecha amen. When I lay my head down tonight beneath your shelter of everlasting light, God, may I wake to a world renewed, filled with love and gratitude, filled with love and gratitude. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomereinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Ufros aleinu. Sukkot shlomecha ufros aleinu. Sukkot shlomecha amen.
We turn to page 164 and rise for our standing prayer, our Amidah prayers, through pages 180. In an envelope marked personal, God addressed me a letter. In an envelope marked personal, I gave my answer. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei HaKol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, u'mevii geula livnei v'neihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים
להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We now take opportunity to talk to the Holy One about why we are here, using the words on the right or the left side of the page that are there to help guide you, or the words within your heart. We continue through page 180, 181. When you have completed your personal prayers, please be seated. If you're joining us on the live stream, Shabbat Shalom. At this time, we ask that you put in the chat names of people you are thinking of for healing prayers, for Misha Berach prayers, using our Facebook or our YouTube.
So as we turn to our Misha Barak prayer, we think of those in our circle of family and friends, those who are struggling with matters of the body, of the heart, of the spirit and soul, addiction too. We think of those who are caregivers who give of themselves tirelessly to those they care about. We ask that they be emboldened with hope and courage and strength as they spread their kindness to those in their circle of love. And so if there is someone that you'd like to say, please stand, and as my eyes meet yours, please say their names. But first I say these names given to us: Marlene Acosta, Marty Chiller, Edward Garlick, Sheila Butt Naomi, Keita Howard, Regina Baker, Emma Lebo, Ann Sandell, Larry Sandell, Sherry Jones, Alyssa Polis, Kim Botwin, Donna Zales, Sandy Block, Lori Fletcher, Regina Sell, Ralph Sell. And I always think of my sister Dina and also my sister Audrey. Please. Simply say the names. Yeah. Polly. Simply say the names. Yeah. Okay. Simply just say the names as I look your way. That's all. Yeah.
Gina Carter,
Stephen Grau, Ray Singer, Sophie Kaplan, Vincent Rodriguez, Kim Rodriguez, the Bison Lewis families, Hetty Gordon, Kurt Frund, Maury Krasnitz, Lisa Grand. If you feel comfortable standing and putting your arms around the person next to you, we invite you to do so at this time. Mi shebeirach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We have a nice summer tradition of inviting congregants to come up and share their story. And a few years ago, we began a subset of that where we invited those who might have chosen Judaism at some point in their life to share their stories. You know, as a rabbi, every year about this time, people come to me asking if they can study for conversion. And I give them all the same spiel where I say I might start a class with 20 people, and how many make it across the finish line, right? And they say about 11. And the other 9, I never know what happens because they never tell me. I always tell them I would like to know whether you're alive or dead. But it's not an easy process, and it's not because we're so difficult and challenging. It's just not easy to be a Jew and to fulfill the commitment that it takes to come to services, come to the class, and to somehow acquire a Jewish soul. Now, having said that, there are many who come to me saying they already have that Jewish soul, and so the not so easy part is acquiring the knowledge. So somewhere between acquiring the knowledge and acquiring a Jewish soul, it all comes together at their own individual pace and journey. And it just so happened that we had a lot of people, quote, graduate, if you will, or affirm their Jewish identity, and I'm so proud of each one of you, and Mazel Tov again. A few years ago, we had another great class, and Colleen was part of that, and she and Polly have really become a very special part of our community. And I could read her bio, but I think it was out there. It's not her bio that we want to hear, it's really her journey, which is a deeply personal one where she came from a Catholic background and somehow she found her way to Judaism. And if I wanted to make it short and punny, I could say you went from Hollywood to Holla-wood, but I'll never say that pun. So Colleen, please come and join me on the bima so you can share your very special, unique story. You want to be here or you want to be over there? Okay.
What an intro.
You like that? Hollywood? All right, here, let me-
Thank you. It's very fancy.
I
Thank
know
you.
it's pretty fancy. And
Oh, all right. Hi, good Shabbos. So firstly, Mazel Tov to the new members of the tribe. The water's warm. So Rabbi had asked me a couple months ago if I'd speak tonight, and initially I was a little bit hesitant, and he said, don't worry, it's the summer. There's not too many people that come. Really sold me on it, so don't quit your day job. So It is a unique moment when you arrive to a point in your life where you're able to kind of change your identity. And it is a rare opportunity, certainly as an adult, and to change from what you were born into and what people know you as. And they call it the conversion process, which essentially means you're changing who you are, your identity, and how you want to experience the world. And to me, the process was more of an arriving to and becoming who I felt I always was. So it wasn't necessarily changing, but I was kind of finding myself in the process. So Rabbi had mentioned that I grew up Catholic. Grew up in the middle of Kansas, family of 5, and all I know that I just wanted to get out of the Midwest. And fortunately, I loved dancing. And I grew up in that music video era where, you know, it's Paula Abdul and Janet Jackson, and all I wanted to do was get out and move to LA and be a dancer. So I was classically trained, and the second I could get out, I did. So at 19, I moved to LA by myself, and I figured it out. I was fortunate to have a very successful career in TV and film. I was really attracted to the hustle and bustle, the fast-paced lifestyle, and creative people working on these really creative projects. And one of those projects led me to choreograph a show for the Wynn in Las Vegas. And I didn't really realize it at the time, and most people probably don't recognize this, but to me, Vegas is a really great place to be if you want to reinvent yourself. And so it was through that project that I met a very nice Jewish boy and decided to make Vegas my new location. It wasn't a home yet. I didn't know anyone. I didn't really have a sense of community, and it was kind of me and the dog. That's what it felt like for a very long time. And, you know, when you're kind of away from the thing that you've always identified yourself as, which was Colleen the dancer, it kind of became more of an isolated feeling. It was very lonely. I didn't know anybody, and nor did anybody really care what I did living here. Especially living in Vegas, when you say you're a dancer, that conversation goes one of two ways. So I kind of needed to find who I was. And I didn't quite know what was missing, but I just knew I wasn't comfortable just being Colleen. And, you know, in this moment of quiet, I call it, it was, you know, a year or so of this, I would go and visit my husband's then boyfriend family for the Jewish holidays. And, you know, I was immediately drawn to the openness and the traditions and values that it seemed that they just were a part of who they were. And I distinctly remember thinking, I want that. I didn't know what that was, but everything they did seemed to have a sense of purpose. There was an intention behind everything during the holiday, where the food went on the plate, what we were talking about, everything. And there was something about that that was really attractive to me. And it really was kind of in that moment and those experiences, I thought, I think it's because they're Jewish, but I'm not really sure. So I remember telling, again, my then boyfriend, this was before he proposed, I said, I want to be Jewish. He said, okay. So that's it? It's like, I'm about to pull the Elizabeth Taylor, and you just give me the okay. All right. And then I asked him, okay, well, call a rabbi, because that's what Google said to do. He said, well, I don't know a rabbi. I thought, well, still not the answer I was wanting, but okay. And through a mutual friend, he reached out to Rabbi. They spoke, and eventually it was my turn to meet the rabbi. I thought, oh boy, okay. Last thing I ever thought, I'd be living in Las Vegas meeting with a rabbi, but here we are. And my first meeting with you, I don't know if you remember this, but I certainly do. The first question he asked me was, so what do you think about Jesus? I said, wow, he's not playing around. Like, this could be a 5-minute meeting or an hour long. So fortunately, it was an hour long, and he had suggested I go to shul and go to Torah study. I said, of course. So I ended up going, and I thought I would just sit in the back and just kind of have a passive experience, and nobody would bother me, and I would just kind of exist back there and not participate. But exactly, you get it. That's not Judaism. I miscalculated that. The second I stepped into the shul, I immediately had somebody say hello to me, greeted me with a smile, and it was very open and welcoming. I remember the first day I met Paul Schiffman, which Paul's really great. Paul taught me how to pray. Paul opened up the Siddur for me and showed me the English, the Hebrew, and the transliteration. He taught me how to read the prayer book, day one. And I always stood by him to pray. He knew exactly. Here's the thing about Paul, too. He'll always know what page to be on. If you're ever lost, just look for Paul. But, it was an interesting process because I really learned how to be Jewish by coming to the shul and from the congregants. And Jeff during Torah study and leading the minyan. For a year straight, I pretty much came every Friday, Saturday, and for the conversion class because I loved it. And it was the first time, I think, in my adult life that I really felt that I had a sense of community. I found my people. And I found who I was, stripped away of anything that I could say, the cool project I did or who I was associated with. It was just me. And this building, that was kind of the sacred part about coming to this. It was my own hour or two a week that I could just pray. And it didn't matter the socioeconomic of everyone. We were all here to pray and to be better. And in the Torah, it says that, we're made in the image of God. And I really believe my conversion process, or my arriving process, was largely successful because of the congregants in this shul. Taught me how to pray. They taught me how to be Jewish. They taught me what it was to give back, how to care about the next generation, and what that looked like. And not just saying it, but actually participating and acting on it. And for that year, and continued so, I'm very grateful for that experience. So, when people talk about the conversion process, it's very personal. And I think each person has a different experience as they go through that process. I know for me it was a very profound experience, and it wasn't something that just happened overnight. But I can tell you that it's given meaning and purpose to my life. I certainly have a sense of belonging, and it's probably one of the best decisions I've made. And I'm just thankful for that opportunity, and I'm thankful for those within the shul that were so welcoming. And it's not because they had to be, it was just because of who they are. They're Jewish. That's what being Jewish is. So thank you, Rabbi, for having me share my story. And this is just a little sliver of it. There's nuances to it and caveats and, multiple chapters in it. But I know that I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm happy that you all were here to witness the story. So thank you so much, and Shabbat Shalom.
What do you think about Jesus? Again, thank you, Colleen, very, very much. It was a touching story, and We got a lot more stories, so who knows what is that? That seventh row back there. Maybe in a year or two, you'll want to share your story, or you can pick their brains during the
I thought
Oneg
she was going
Shabbat.
to say, and then the cantor asked me to choreograph the perm spiel every year, and then I thought I had made the wrong decision.
And that perm spiel has really gone up a bar
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
a lot. That's right. All right, we continue in our services on page 586. Let us rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Again, if you're watching on our live stream, we invite you at this time to enter the names of those you are thinking of who are no longer with us. Whether you are in Shana in the year that you've lost someone or you are observing a yahrzeit, please submit those names at this time. Page 598.
I'm sure we all saw the news about Tony Bennett passing away. So when a celebrity passes away, it touches us in so many different ways, but he, at least for me, he spanned so many different generations. So although not of our faith, he was a person who inspired faith. In facing the illness that he did, and I don't know how many of you saw that last concert with Lady Gaga, and somehow that music just came out of him, and it showed us the resilience of the human spirit. So I think about him. We think about members of our community, Ernie DiGilio, Elaine Harris, Adair Joy Klein, Dick Hyman, Doris Munich, and Stanley Lasove. We recall the yahrzeits of Estelle Oslander, Martin Baskow, Jack Bulloff, Mildred Caruso, Florence Cowan, Bernice DeWald, Julia DeWald, Irene Eckert, Sydney Enton, Judith Etkin, Bessie Freeman, Louis Friedner, Sheila Geddes, David L. Glickman, Jenny Goldberg, Bessie Goldstein, Hank Greenspun, David Hammer, Dorothy Collins, Leon Levine, Philip Levitt, Carol Eileen Laurent, Max Ratner, Miriam Schatz, Susan Schiffman, Benita Silver, Leon Winnick. There are those of you who'd like to say the name of someone who was not mentioned for Kaddish or Yortzeit. Please stand and say their name.
Marty Reingold, Ann Morgan, Geely Chen, Ann Elliott, Bill Levin, Richard Rose, Martin Coffiner, Jerry Lewis, Joel Berg, Sandy Berman, and my grandfather, Sidney Enton.
So we think of all these and others who have touched our hearts. We rise to recite our Kaddish prayer. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, b'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeda chol beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekusha b'richu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiram bi'alma v'yamru amen. Yehi shlom rabba min shamaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'asei shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. May be seated. We'd like to invite the members of our religious school and our graduating conversion class, if you will, those who are part of it, to join the
chosen
cantor over
Jews.
there, our new members
choosing
of the,
Jews.
of the tribe. I don't have a name. The Shabbat squad. Come on up and join the cantor. There you
Let's
go.
call them the choosing Jews instead of chosen Jews, the choosing Jews.
That's right. So while cantor does that, a reminder, every Saturday morning via Zoom we have Torah study. Colleen mentioned she used to come in person, and then COVID kind of changed things. So now we're by Zoom. So there's no excuse. You can literally roll out of bed, turn on your computer, go to Zoom at 8:45, and I'll be teaching just about every Saturday morning. So we'd love to see some new faces. And anyone who has a question on how to make it happen, you can talk to Jeff Wayne, because he's our resident expert on that technology. Cantor.
And God blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Al kain berach Adonai et yom haShabbat vayikadshehu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
One of the characteristics of the summer is we often have a lot of people who are, quote, shul shopping or visiting. And if you are new to our community, maybe you've been here before, but you don't think anyone really knows me.
Newish and Jewish?
Newish and Jewish, there you go. We'd love to have you to stand up and just introduce yourself. Is there anyone there who's new to the community? Please, in the back with the red shirt. All right, Howard Ash, welcome. Not 40 years. Couple years. That's great. Howard, where are you from originally? In the Far East? Okay. You want to be more specific out of curiosity? Oh my God, this guy really is a wandering Jew. Anyone else been to any of those places? Anyone? Hong Kong, Far East? There's a few people. Okay, make small talk in the Oneg. All right, here we go. Okay. Jamie? Oh, Jane, okay. Well, you're always welcome here. Thanks for visiting. She came for the Oneg. Yeah. We call it Taste of Judaism. She wants the Oneg. Okay. Anyone else? All right. So we have this other tradition. If you have a red name tag, that means what? That means
All of our members should say shalom and introduce yourselves to all of our new guests during our oneg and after services.
So what are the two choices, red or blue? Okay, if you're red, you're a not yet member or you're visiting. And I hate to tell you this, you won't believe this. 2 weeks ago, someone said, I went to services and no one said hello to me. And my heart was crushed. Don't let anyone leave tonight without at least a hello, okay? Just say shalom. They can decide whether you're saying hello or goodbye. You know, it should be a good conversation, all right? Make everyone feel welcome, and you'll warm my heart. Thank you.
We want to meet you too, so feel free to say hello to us as well.
All right. Final song. Thank
We
you,
want
Eddie,
to thank
again.
Eddie Birch on our piano. Thank you so much for your beautiful music. We want to thank our prez, Michael Levy, and our shamus, Della
That's good.
Costa, and Alex Hill for our sound, and Lee and Haley, our staff tonight. So we have a special Enkelohenu that is in Ladino. So does anybody here speak Spanish? Anybody? Nobody? Great. So if I mess up, you won't even
Some
know.
people speak Spanish here.
Cool. I thought there would be more people.
Okay, yeah. Bessie?
Okay.
Yeah, a couple.
So this Enkelohenu is also in Ladino, which is a derivative of Spanish and Hebrew together. Like a Yiddish is kind of German-ish and Hebrew together. Ladino is similar, but from Sephardic nation. So it's on page 631.
En Kelohenu, en Kadonenu, en Kemalkenu, en Kemoshienu, non como nuestro Dios, non como nuestro Señor, non como nuestro Rey, non como nuestro Salvador. Mi Eloheinu, mi Chadonenu, mi Kemakenu, mi Chemoshienu, quien como nuestro Dios, quien como nuestro Señor, quien como nuestro Rey, quien como nuestro Salvador. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no del Emalkeinu, no del Moshienu. Loremos a nuestro Dios, loremos a nuestro Señor, loremos a nuestro Rey, loremos nuestro Salvador. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Bendito nuestro Dios, bendito nuestro Señor, bendito nuestro Rey, bendito nuestro Salvador. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Tú sos nuestro Dios, tú sos nuestro Señor, tú sos nuestro Rey, tú sos nuestro Salvador.
Baruch atah b'voecha, Baruch atah b'tzetecha, me'atah v'ad olam. Blessed were you in coming to services this Shabbat Eve. May you be blessed in all that you do, in finding your own path, your own journey. Shabbat Shalom. We'll meet you in the social hall for the Oneg Shabbat. Good Shabbos, everyone.